I know I say this often, but today's a busy day, right? Because I don't feel the greatest, but we're celebrating our store opening for the second time because we moved to the new space. And so today's a busy day, and we felt like this would be better than last week when it was truly the 1st of February, which is officially when the store is supposed to have been open. We had opened it prior to that, but it was busy because we had two parties that day. The crazy thing is that we've since had a party yesterday and another party today, but the party today happened after we set up the fact that we were going to do our grand opening. So it's a busy day, and there's not much I could do. Yesterday, I just suffered through it and went through the whole day and worked there. It was rough, but today Noel's doing it, so that's not what this video is about. This video is about someone left me a message on Facebook, and they said, "Hey, Hershinoy, just wanted to say, hi from wherever they are," and I'm not going to say. Really love watching your family. Also seeing you guys on YouTube. We are fans. It's great seeing how your family is doing and that type of thing. Basically, just saying, you're really and truly blessed. Good and safe travels to Hawaii. It's beautiful there, and it's also pretty addictive. You might want to end up staying. And then they go on and they say some more really nice things, and so I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I am very, very blessed, to be honest with you. And I've said that often. I'm very, very blessed. There are times when things are so difficult because I'm very busy. Yesterday I had a business meeting outside of the studio, right at the studio, because sometimes I can't go and make meetings. I mean, there's times when I have to miss a meeting because of the studio, because we're just so darn busy. But yesterday I had a meeting there at the studio, and I was just not feeling great. Um, and when you're busy like that, you often get it's like you don't really see a lot of what you have, and you really get frustrated because it's like I don't get a break. You know what I'm saying? Like Noel doesn't either. We literally work 7 days a week. There is no day off. I mean, we don't talk about it, but we really don't have a day off. And when it seems like I'm able to do a lot of videos, this is either typically early in the morning or late at night. And when I say early in the morning, it's not just like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. It's usually like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, because sometimes I don't go to bed until 1, 2, 3 o'clock. So it's crazy. So, and I'm also doing stuff that involves a completely different project that's I'm almost out of my element. Like I'm barely swimming above water on this. I know how to do it, but I have to be very focused. And so there's times when you become very, just bogged down. And so I have to say that Noel, if I didn't have Noel, I wouldn't be able to be as successful as I am. And I wouldn't have gotten as successful as I have as fast as I did. Now she will sit and say something similar about me, but really and truly, she's been amazing. I couldn't have made this journey with anybody else, hands down. And what I was saying in the video prior that got cut off because she called me. That happens often, and I forget to put myself on airplane mode because I need my messages to pop up for different things. But anyway, I was saying that we are literally like kind of molded together. There are things that I really, really like and that she brings to the table. You know what I'm saying? Like she brings that piece to it. And you don't have a lot of people, a lot of women that can fit that, to be honest with you. And there are certain things that really, I just can't say enough about that. I really can't. And I'm someone who is very honest. And so I'm not just saying this because she's my wife and it's the nicest thing to say, but it's the truth. I really could not have actually been with anybody else that is going to be a partner. She's truly a partner. She pulls her weight and sometimes even more. When I'm not able to, she's able to, and then when she's not able to, I'm able to. We just work very well together, and we have always done that for the longest time. Early on it's kind of rocky, but we've always had just each other to rely on. We haven't had My family has been in Kentucky mostly, and really for the first and since we've been married, I've never lived in Kentucky. Noel and I, we've never lived in Kentucky. So we've always been away from my family. When we moved to Albuquerque, we moved away from her family. And even when we were in Indianapolis, like her family just created that wedge. So we were not close to them. We had family that we created up there for in Indianapolis. Indianapolis and my hometown are not super far away, but it's a 5-hour drive. So we had what we call our Cuban cousins because they were people who really accepted me, loved me still, and I treat them like their family, and Noelle treats them like their family. And it's a friend of hers mom who really we look at as like a mom, even though she's only like 10 years older than me. But we look at her like she's a mom because she really cares for our girls. And she even watched Zoe for, when I was up there working, she would watch Zoe, you know? So it's people like that that really helped us quite a bit. And once we left Indianapolis, we only had each other, Noelle and I, to really conquer everything. We had to figure it out. We didn't have friends in the places we moved to. We didn't have anything. And so Noelle is someone who I can honestly say you can plop us down anywhere and we're going to make it. Now she will sit and stress about it. But then that's when I come in and I basically say, everything's going to be okay. I can figure these things out, or what have you. But when she really puts the stress away and the anxiety and stuff like that away, like she can figure things. Like sometimes I'm like perplexed or I come up with an idea and she'll come up with a better plan. And I'm like, well, dang, that's actually better. Let's go with that one. I didn't think of that. You know what I mean? Like she is just on it. So yeah, I'm definitely blessed. And I appreciate that comment. I'm also blessed with 3 wonderful kids. I mean, Zeta, I'll start there, really started doing everything super early. She's the youngest, but she started doing things way before the other ones did. Like she started saying her ABCs all the way through Z when she was like in her middle twos. She was literally AB all the way through Z. She knew how to count to 20. I mean, when she was 3. I mean, she's 3 now, just 3 in a few months. And in August she'll be 4, but she could count to 20, no problem, and keep going. Like, Zoe would miss 13. We would go over this over and over again. She would miss 13, the number 13, even when she was like 4 or 5. And Zeta is just super, super smart. She is very crafty. Like we have these magnets. I actually have some. Hold on. She keeps them and takes them everywhere she goes. These magnets are pretty cool because they have all these different colors, and she builds various different things, like buildings, literally out of them, like all different weird shapes and angles, because there's different sizes that you get. You get little triangles, you get these bigger triangles, you got the octagon ones, you have the square ones. And she literally builds spaceships, and she talks about that. She builds star shapes, she builds tunnels, because we have 2 hamsters, but the one hamster, she puts her toys in it. She actually made a purse out of it. Like, the kid is super, super bright. I'm not just saying that because she's my kid. Like, she's really, sometimes we're like, at this age, there's certain things that she will say, and it's like, really? Or she will explain something, and it's like, really? Zara is the one that is like this fashionista. She will put together so many different types of clothes and styles and stuff, and it's like, it works. Like, she can just go into her closet, put on different layers of stuff, and it looks really trendy. You know what I mean? Like, she's got that type of eye. She is actually the best artist, really, because it looks really good. It looks really, really good. Like she can really draw, color. It's all in the lines. It looks really good. It looks like Noelle. Noelle, I can't color worth a darn still. Like when I color, it looks like I'm in the sixth grade. Well, not even that. Like I'm like a 5-year old. But Noelle, it looks like a painting. Zara is very similar. She's very, very it's insane. She loves to dance. She loves to sing. Like that is her thing. And she can put together a lot of moves. She on the monkey bars, that kid can just go across like it's nothing. Her arms are like she's got muscle. So yeah, she's just into that. Like she's just into that type of thing. Zoe is someone who has a massive heart. Like she doesn't like to see people being done wrong. Even when it doesn't involve her, if people at school are making fun of someone, she'll get upset with it or she'll tell them to stop. Or if people are loud on the bus, she'll be like, please be quiet. The bus driver's trying to drive. But like she's just this responsible kid, book smart. Like Zoe she wants to be a veterinarian. Even when she was younger, she said she wanted to be a doctor scientist. And we believed it because the kid can do pretty much anything. But she can tell you facts that you never really think about. Like she records stuff. She'll hear it one time on TV and she'll just remember that. I remember when she was like 3 years old and we went to the zoo and they were feeding, I forget what it was, broccoli. And she said, that's broccoli that they're feeding this animal. Because these big bunches of broccoli. And she was talking about, like how broccoli grows. And she was talking about why it was important for them to eat broccoli and it gives them vitamins and all this other stuff. And so it was really, really cool. But she will also talk about she'll talk about facts that were like, so we have to Google it. Because she's smarter than us. Like, there's certain things that she's smarter than us about. And it's exciting, obviously, but it's also a bit scary that she knows a lot of stuff in terms of just science and technology and all of that. In fact, we were thinking about putting her into like STEM classes. There's a thing here called RAIN, and I know some of the people there, but it is a technology lab. And sometimes they have the superheroes camp. And so I wanted to get her involved in that because they really want girls to be involved in STEAM. And so that is something that she's all about because she loves art too. She loves to color and stuff like that. But her main thing is books, coloring, and that type of thing. She's not into the dolls. Zara is into like Barbies and stuff. Zeta's into Barbies. Zeta's into a lot of other toys. She plays with literally every toy. Zoe has never been that type of kid. She's mainly been into learning. That is her big thing. She loves that. The museum, like she just that's her thing. You know what I mean? That is her thing. So I'm very blessed. Like I can't say that there's a meme on Facebook that says scientists have proven that kids get their intelligence from their mom. And I'm like, yep. Yeah. All right, I can't say no. I'm not saying I'm dumb. When it comes to business, I exceed at that. I'm good at that. When it comes to like statistics, I love that. A lot of people hate statistics. I love it. Like, economics and statistics, I love that type of thing. Like, I'm there. But when it comes to some of this other stuff, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm not good at that. But yeah, I'm really, really blessed, to be honest with you. I have pretty darn near close to perfect family, so I'm blessed with that. When it comes to Hawaii, I'm looking forward to it. I think we all are, and I think it's going to be pretty interesting. We will be doing some snorkeling, maybe. We have, at the place we're staying, they give us snorkeling gear, which is pretty cool. So we might do that. Noelle and I might do that. It just depends, right? It just depends. As far as living there, it's ran across our mind a couple of times. Because prices here are so expensive, we can afford Hawaii. Now, the food can be kind of pricey, depending upon what it is. But Things are so expensive here that living in Hawaii is not that big of a. I could probably live almost anywhere now. It's just so expensive here. There are still some places that would scare me, like New York. The prices there are just insane. San Francisco, insane. But generally, most places would not be too much of an issue, and so because we're just accustomed to it here. So, have I took a stronger look into Hawaii? Yeah. And, before I talked about it, I said, it'd be great to live there. That or Japan. Those were two places I would love to live. And I said, out of living here in the Pacific Northwest, there's no other place I really would want to live in, other than maybe San Diego, but definitely Hawaii. Because I think that it just, and we watched this documentary that we didn't even know was talking about Hawaii. And it talked about this person's living experience. And basically, they were kids that were mixed race. And people there didn't get the whole issue with people having an issue in the lower 48 with race mixing. Like they didn't get that because it's so diverse there. Like they were talking to all these different folks there about how they didn't quite understand that. Like none of them. They're like, what, really? Huh? Like it's kind of weird if you don't date someone of a different race. People are like, what's wrong with you? Right? And so this girl goes to different parts of the lower 48 and she talks to people about their experience growing up being two different races and the situation. And it's just fascinating. So that drew me in even more. I'm like, dang, like that's awesome. Then I happened to see a blurb that popped up about Hawaii and something that I'm really into in their light rail system that they're doing. And I almost shed a tear. I'm like, I like this. So take away the beautiful palm trees and the sun and all that stuff and just everything. If you even just got rid of the beaches and the water, it's like there's still things there that I just geek out about. Like the skyline of Honolulu just geeks me out. I love it. They showed this section. There's a university downtown because Noelle's like, well, let me check out a university down here. And just the campus in the middle of downtown and the palm trees shooting up out of the ground. It's just sick. So could I see myself living there? Yeah. So when you say, I know you're going to enjoy it, just don't, it gets pretty addictive and you may want to live there. Yeah. It's possible. It's possible. Now, when we go there are some things I want to do, obviously, on the business side of things, because that's just what I always do. So I'm going to do some of that stuff. But if things line up, and if an opportunity, because we are very spur of the moment people. I don't think like that. You know what I mean? Like I basically, I plan for stuff. Like if I'm going to make a move on something, I do planning months and months and months in advance. I've been looking at Hawaii probably for about 2 years, and Japan. Learning some of the laws, some of the different practices, some of the different things. Like there's a lot of different things about Japan that I know that most people are like, really, you know that? It's like, yeah. Because I've been looking up, like, what if we did live there? What would it take? What would we have to do? Like, what are the conditions on the homes that they're basically selling for little and nothing? The driving, all those different things. When it comes to Hawaii, basically we have animals. Like, what do we need to do? How long does it take? There's different ways that you can get them in, and, there's a waiting period because they have to make sure that the animals don't have any sort of diseases and things like that. So they have to be up to date on their vaccinations and rabies and stuff. And so you have to make sure that there's a certain amount of time when you get it, when they get the rabies shot, as opposed to when they get there and all this other. So we've been looking at very finite details of everything, because if I get there and I'm like, this is looking a little too good, then I've already done a lot of research. And that's what we did with Seattle, and that's what we did in Seattle before we came down to Tacoma, is do a lot of research to get our ducks in a row. And I've always been that way. So could I see myself there? Possibly. Everything is right here. This is our home base. I've always said that. My sister often asks, are you still going to stay there? We have friends that are in another state that want to move here. Are you still going to stay there? And the answer is yes, but that could easily change. That could easily change. But anyhow, thank you so much for the comment. I really do appreciate that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for subscribing. Also, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I will see you. Take care.